Tonight, someone you love will cross your mind for no reason at all. You will not know why. You will just feel it. That small strange pull towards someone who is no longer here is not random. It is ancient, and it goes back much further than you think. When a person died in the ancient world, something extraordinary happened. Not a funeral, not a ceremony. Something far older and far stranger than either of those words can describe. Your earliest ancestors lived in small bands, 30 to 50 people at most. Everyone knew everyone. There were no strangers in the group. So when one person disappeared, when the body went still and the breath stopped, the entire social world of that group cracked open. Anthropologist Robin Dunbar has spent decades studying the social architecture of early human groups. What he found is that every person in a band of that size carried an emotional weight that could not simply be replaced. Losing one member was not like losing one piece of a puzzle. It was like losing a load-bearing wall. So what did they do? The oldest evidence comes from a cave in South Africa called Border Cave. Inside, archaeologists discovered the deliberately buried remains of an infant, placed carefully in a pit, with a perforated shell bead resting near the body. The burial is estimated to be around 74,000 years old. That shell was not accidental. Someone chose it. Someone placed it there. Someone stood over that small grave and felt something that you would recognize immediately if you felt it yourself. Grief is not modern. Grief is ancient technology. But burial was only one response. In other sites across Africa and Europe, researchers have found evidence of something even more striking. The dead were kept close. Bodies were sometimes carried, sometimes returned to, sometimes revisited long after death, the bones handled, rearranged, touched again. Archaeologist Paul Pettit describes this as a form of continued social relationship with the dead. Your ancestors did not simply let people go. They extended the relationship past the moment of death because their brains had no framework for what it meant to lose someone permanently. Think about that. Your brain still does the same thing. When someone you love dies, your brain keeps generating expectations of them. You reach for your phone to send them something. You hear a song and think of them. You turn to say something, and the air beside you is empty. Psychologists call this continuing bonds theory. The idea that grief is not a process of letting go, but of slowly renegotiating a relationship that the brain refuses to delete. You are not broken when you do this. You are prehistoric. There was also fire almost everywhere the dead appeared in the ancient record. Fire appeared with them. Not always for cremation. Sometimes simply for light. For warmth. For the act of sitting near the body through the night. Researcher Francesco D'Erico has documented repeated evidence of fire use in burial contexts across multiple continents. The act of gathering around a fire near someone who had just died may be one of the oldest human rituals that still exists. Because you still do it. Candlelight vigils. Funeral pyres. The single candle in a dark window. The shape of the ritual has changed. The impulse behind it has not moved an inch. And then, eventually, they left. The group moved on. Because survival required it. Because staying in one place too long meant starvation. Because the living had to keep living, even when part of them did not want to. But they carried something forward. Stories, most likely. Names repeated around fires. The memory of a person kept alive in the mouths of the people who loved them. Long before writing, long before monuments, the human voice was the only grave that moved. You still do this too. You say their name. You tell the story. You keep them somewhere that cannot be buried. Tonight, someone you love will cross your mind for no reason at all. Now you know why. Your brain is doing what human brains have done for 74,000 years. It is refusing to say goodbye completely. It is carrying someone forward. It is building the oldest grave there is. The one that exists only inside you, that no weather can touch, and that moves with you everywhere you go.